If you're in a store and you're in a checkout line and someone asks you a question, like, let's say if you work at this store when you're in the checkout line, it's good to tell people you don't know, but sometimes you don't always hear the question clearly. So you may think they're asking you if you're waiting in line when they're actually asking if you work at that store. You should always make sure you pay close attention before you answer because you don't want to give them the wrong answer, but just in case you do tell them you work there's someone that could always help correct you. This is what happened to me when I went to Walgreens. Hi everybody, it's Mena. Welcome back to my channel, or if this is the very first video that you're seeing of me, then welcome to my channel. Please be sure to hit that subscribe button down below if you didn't already. I post Tuesday through Sunday. And today in this video, I have a funny Walgreens checkout story for you guys. This is a funny story about how I was in the checkout line at Walgreens and this lady came up to me and I thought she was asking if I was waiting in line, but she actually was asking if I worked there, and I accidentally told her I worked in the store, but the truth was I really did thought she asked me if I was in line because I thought that's what she wanted to know, but I didn't know she asked if I worked there until a employee helped correct me. So this is a story just to teach you guys, if somebody's asking you a question when you're in a store, like they ask if you work there, you should always and you don't hear their question very well, you should always ask them to repeat it so then you can give them the correct answer. But sometimes when we mishear things and we think we hear what we're hearing, we accidentally can let the wrong answer slip out. So always have your answer prepared when someone asks you a question. So I'm going to get started and I hope you guys enjoy the video. I apologize if I had kind of a weird look at the end of the last clip. A friend of mine was messaging me asking if I knitted slippers. I was trying to make sure I read her question. So that's why I looked kind of a little distracted towards the end of the video, because I saw she had just messaged me on Instagram. By the way, if you want to follow me or my dog Humphrey on Instagram, you can follow me on Instagram at Mena Homburg, or you can and if you want to follow Humphrey, my dog, on Instagram, you can follow Humphrey at Humphrey's World 007. I will put both our Instagrams in the description box down below. Anyway, so this all started sometime last year. I don't remember when this was last year. Excuse me. My apologies. I had a little tickle in my throat. I was in Walgreens. I was getting some stuff. I don't remember what I was getting, but I know I had to pick up a couple things that day. So I'm at Walgreens picking up a couple things, and I go into the checkout line. I'm waiting in the checkout line to go pay for my stuff. And this lady comes up to me. She was probably like in her 40s. I'm guessing she was probably in her 40s, early 30s. I don't remember. Early 30s or early 40s, or was it late 30s or early 40s? I don't know, but she looked around my age or a little older, and she walks up to me, and she had like an accent, so I think it was like maybe an Indian accent, so I think she was from India or something. Or was she from India? I don't remember what country she was from, but I know she had an accent from a different country, and she was trying to talk to me, and she was asking me a question. Because of her accent, it was kind of hard for me to understand. So I didn't really want to have to like sound like I was correcting her or anything. And she kept asking me a question. At first I thought she was asking if I was waiting in the checkout line, because I was in the checkout line at Walgreens. And she's asking me a question about something. And I could tell she was trying to talk to me. And I'm like, what? And I was not understanding what she was trying to ask me. She's asking me, are you here? And I looked like, to me, she was pointing at the checkout line at Walgreens. And I was like, yes, I'm in the line. And they're like, you? And then I heard a cashier say, oh, you don't work here? And I'm like, what? And I was really confused. And I was like, what? And I was just trying to understand why he said you don't work here. And so they're like, she's asking if you work here. And I'm like, oh, and I'm like, because of her accent, I felt so bad. I couldn't understand what she was trying to ask me. It turned out she was asking me if I worked at Walgreens. She wasn't asking me if I was in the checkout line. I thought she was just asking if I was in the checkout line, but she actually was asking me if I worked at Walgreens. And I said, oh, I'm so sorry. No, I don't work here. And I was so embarrassed that I accidentally said yes. So the lady comes to the other checkout line that's empty, and goes to the other cashier, and that person was able to help her. And so I talked to the cashier, and I apologized for accidentally answering yes. And they were so nice about it. They're like, that's okay. I just wanted to make sure you were paying it. It seemed like you were waiting in line and you were trying to wait to your turn. And I guess you were so busy waiting your turn, you weren't paying attention or something. I don't remember. So I did apologize. And this cashier was just very nice, explaining to me that the lady was just asking if I worked there. And I just didn't expect a person to ask me if I worked at Walgreens while I was in line, and I thought that was a little weird, but at the same time I thought that was kind of funny. And they were very nice about how I answered the wrong question, but I still kind of thought it was pretty funny that I was a little confused of this lady's question. But after I got in and paid for my stuff, I apologized to the lady if I confused her in any way. And this was the lady that was asking if I worked there, and she was like very nice and said that's totally okay. And so I just ended up like leaving the store, and I laughed about what had happened because I thought it was kind of funny, but at the same time kind of a little weird. So the moral of the story is when you're in line at a store and someone's trying to ask you a question, like they ask if you work here when you actually don't, you should always have your answer prepared, but sometimes it can be a little difficult when you're waiting in line and you're trying to pay attention to your name being called. So it's good to have the person repeat the question so then you can understand what they're trying to ask you. But sometimes when you're so busy waiting in line and someone's trying to talk to you while you're waiting in line, you may end up accidentally giving them the wrong answer without paying attention to the question. So you should always have your answer prepared when they ask you a certain question. So just to be safe, but sometimes if you do give them the wrong answer, there are employees that can and will help correct you. So that was my funny Walgreens checkout line story. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. I post Tuesday through Sunday, and I'll see you in another video soon. Bye. If you like this video, then go ahead and give it a thumbs up, as well as subscribe to my channel.